Welcome. This is the Local Music Revolution. I am your guide of the Mountain of Awesome. My name is Ogre. In this episode, we talk to Michael and Carrie from the Alpha Complex out of Sacramento, California. We get into the history of the band, how they got stranded in SoCal after this year's Knot Fest. We talk about their writing of the second album. We talk about Michael's 90-day house arrest and the YouTube videos that came out of it. I really enjoy talking to these guys. I have followed Michael ever since I found out that he was going to be the new vocalist for Motorgrader. I met him in 2012 when he was promoting Riven outside of a venue in Fresno, California. We were both waiting to see Five Finger Death Punch and Soulfly. We started talking to him. I bought one of the Riven demos. One of the best demos that I've heard in a very long time. Still one of my favorite. I'd love to talk to a couple of the other guys from Riven, see how that band came about, and everything about that band. I was truly, truly enamored with that band. From the demise of Riven, I followed the formation of the Alpha Complex. I actually even sent in drum tracks to audition when Michael was first looking for people to be in the band. I never got a call back. Super sad about that. I didn't make the cut, but I am happy to hear the awesome songs they have produced. I'm really happy to see these guys working it out. And there's so much music that they have to put out, and I'm super, super excited to see what comes from this. As you all will hear, they are relentless and they will not stop their progress. So congratulations to what you guys have done, and good luck for all of the amazing things you will do. Now let's get to the interview. This is the Alpha Complex. I'm here with the Alpha Complex. How you doing, guys?
Hey, what's up? This is Mike. And this is Carrie. And we're the Alpha Complex. 2/5 of it, anyways.
Yeah. Your history is pretty cool. Can you talk about that real fast? How you got all your members together? I know you guys are from different states, I believe, and different locations.
Yeah. We've pretty much all relocated since then, but we started back in September 2012. It was an idea that I had after my last band, Riven, broke up. So I was just basically wanting to get a band together that I felt would stand the test of time and continue to move forward, even if there happened to unfortunately be member changes, which fairly early in the band there was. I started playing with a guitarist, Steven Samora, and we wrote Till the End together.
Nice.
And then he and I parted ways rather quickly because of some disagreements on member choices and the name, actually. He didn't really like the name of the band, and I was like, well, you're kind of joining, you responded to my ad. So after that, once I saw how quickly members can come and go, I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to go through this. So I reached out to some friends of mine out of Utah, and they were playing with, or they jammed with a guy named Austin, and he was drumming, and Austin Kennedy. And so we started talking, and he liked the idea of the band and the direction and everything, and so he joined up right away. And then the two of my old friends, Trent and Travis, they're twins. They never really collaborated on anything that we were doing towards this band. They always wanted to talk about old material that we'd done before and bringing it back. And I said, well, it's a cool idea, but let's collaborate on what we're doing now. And it just never got around to that because of recording capabilities and whatnot. And so Austin and I were writing material back and forth, and we were just doing it through Dropbox and collaborating that way. And then I got a call from an old friend of mine, Carrie Glennon, from Denver, and we were in a band together from Denver called Relevant, and prior to that, we were in a band called Common Ground. So we have a 12-year history together, right? Mm-hmm. And so we were talking, and he said he was just fed up with slave labor and wanted to move out to California and pursue music. And he was kind of beating around the bush, and so I was like, well, why don't you just come join my band? And he goes, well, yeah, that was what I was kind of thinking. And so it just kind of worked out that way. And then so I flew out to Denver to get him, and we drove his car back, and a lot of that footage is in the music video for Leech. It's pretty much our biological story of the first year of the band's life. And we got together and did a photo shoot. Austin came out here from Utah because Austin's from Utah. So we had one member in Denver that relocated here, and then we had a guy from Salt Lake, and he was driving 12 hours to come do photo shoots and write music together and kind of jam in this really cool place we had up in the hills. A friend of ours, Scott, let us use his old schoolhouse that was turned into a bar venue.
Oh, okay.
And it had a stage in it and everything. So we were jamming and practicing in a legitimate venue every time we jammed. It was really cool. The acoustics were great. The vibe was great. But aside from that, we go and do this photo shoot, and we got contacted right around the same time by both Marty and Brian. We met Marty at Aftershock Festival 2013.
Okay.
Carrie thought it was 2012, but it was actually 2013. Yeah. I'll get to that in a second. It was a funny little inside joke. But so we met up with Marty on the side stage of Love and Death because we had backstage passes from our management at the time and everything. And so we were side stage for Love and Death, and we were tripping on that because Brian killed it, you know. And and I'm sitting here thinking Marty is like the stage manager for the stage, and I thought he was gonna get mad at us, like, because when you're in that position and you're not playing a festival, everything about your quote unquote status goes away. You have to respect everybody's that's their house, that's their yard, and you have to respect their rules. And so you can't just ego out and be like, well, I think I'm somebody from this band, and so I'm gonna be wherever I want. So I'm looking at this guy thinking he's the stage manager. He's got these big old crossed arms and shit, and I'm like trying to kind of buddy up next to him, like, so hey, what's up? And then I'm kind of probing him, and come to find out, he's just lending his drum kit to Love and Death.
Oh, nice.
And so they killed their set. He got his drum set, and we started talking. I was like, we're looking for a drummer. Even though Austin was a drummer, Austin plays guitar. He's wrote a lot of the material. Whatever Carrie hasn't wrote on this album, Carrie's wrote a lot, but we still got to record other ideas he has. But Austin he just writes and records and records and records. So it was just, the Dropbox was filling with material. So I was just like, why don't you, instead of us training a guitarist to learn all your stuff, why don't you play guitar, and we'll find a drummer to play the drums that you're programming, and eventually they'll write their own drum stuff. And so when I met Marty, that's the idea that came straight to my head. Is like, we'll just see if Austin's cool with moving over to guitar, and we'll pull this guy in so we can start solidifying this lineup. And it was happening quickly, a lot quicker than I had anticipated. I'm really happy with it. And we auditioned Marty, but at the same time, because we posted those pictures from the photo shoot, this guy from Reno, Nevada. So we have Denver, Salt Lake City, Reno, and then I'm in here in Sac, and so is Marty. So we got this guy from Reno saying, it looks like you guys still need a bass player. I'm like, because I guess he saw a Craigslist ad that I posted in Reno a while back, and he had been watching and stalking the band to see if we were going to be worth a shit and do anything. He had no care that I was in Motograder previously or anything like that. So, he was just kind of watching to see what happened. He saw the pictures came out. They looked great, so he hit us up. And he felt that the band would actually be doing something. And he came out and tried out, and Carrie and I knew right away. We were like, this is the guy, but we just got to get him dressing better. So, he's got this old school Pantera style, which is nothing against Pantera or the people that wear that kind of clothing, the band T-shirt, the ripped jeans, whatever, or the baggy clothes. But I was like, this guy has a great look, and we got to tailor him up a little bit because his skills are everything. So, and we have a look that we want to go with this band, and
yeah.
So we told him that exactly. We were like, we love your playing, we love your personality. I was like, I hate your shoes. and it was half joking, he knows that. But so obviously he looks amazing now. and I mean, the lineup just kind of solidified right there. Like, we had our bass player, Austin, moved over to guitar, had no problem doing so, and Marty came in and auditioned. And the biggest worry about having a drummer is you're like, man, can he play to a click? Is he solid? And this, and that wasn't my worry at all. My worry was flashiness. I wanted some drummer that was just fucking Tommy Lee Jr. And he comes in and he's super solid, plays exactly to a click. Wasn't the flashiest guy I've ever seen. He had a couple of stick flips and stuff like this, and I was focusing too much on that at first. And he joined, and I remember at almost every practice I was like, yeah, let's see some more flash, buddy. And he was like, I'll get there, I'm just, getting everything tight. And to his credit, he is one of the tightest drummers I've ever seen. He learns his craft, and he's there, and he's a great personality. And so without me even knowing it, we got the perfect guy.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I was I learned a lesson in all that. I was trying to kind of mold stuff too much to my liking instead of just kind of letting it be an even flow.
Yeah, I got
you. And Kerry has to urinate, so he's going to go urinate real quick.
All right, man.
He actually said urinate, so.
All right, so
that's how the band got together. That's the history. Sorry. Long-winded.
Very, but I do have a question. I always wanted to know where you got the name Alpha Complex and if it means something specific to you.
Actually, it really does. The Alpha Complex came from some parting words of an ex-member from a previous band, and he told me the reason that the band was breaking up was because I had a God complex. And I was kind of taken back by that because I felt, that I was on tour. I was doing everything in my power to make sure that my brothers are fed and housed and safe and have a place to play and that we're getting paid and they're not wasting their time away from their families. So I felt like I was putting and so much time in and sacrificing for everybody else, because when I was at home, I wasn't with my family. I was on the phone 24/7 booking, straight out of Motograder, starting Riven and just nothing but damage control and momentum capturing, just pushing forward. And so when it all came to an end after all the work I put in, and it was a flash in the pan, it was 6 months and it was done. 6 months together, 2 nationwide tours, and done. Canceled in Florida, canceled the tour, and then we broke up as soon as we got back to California, pretty much. And it was a messy breakup. It wasn't a beautiful thing, and I'm very thankful that the members of that band and I have since reconciled and become friends again.
Well, that's good to hear.
So yeah, I mean, it's always good when you can come full circle. And this member and I, we had some words about it, and there's a lot of backlashing, but I took his words and used them in a positive light, basically saying, well, if you think I have a God complex, I'm going to show you a fucking God complex. And I messed around with the phrasing and everything, and I came up with the Alpha Complex, and I feel it has multiple meanings. I feel it has it's a strong name. It means we're, in our heads, we're number one. We're the first motherfuckers that are going to come in, and we're the first platoon that you throw in to just destroy the enemy. You throw them in there and they clear the way.
Yeah.
Because they're bad. Because they're bad fucking ass, and we're badass. And we have that idea in our head, but we're, I feel that we're down to earth as well. It's not this big over shadowing complex. It's just it invokes a lot of imagery. It's an idea. And so that was one thing. And then, it does go, it is kind of like a fuck you to anybody who thought differently of me. So yeah, there you go. History lesson.
That's actually an awesome thing that get back to say fuck you to everybody, man. It's really cool to hear that. You actually said that you were part of Motorgrader. I've actually told you on Facebook. My wife and I saw you at Knotfest this year.
Oh man, what a show!
Yeah, it was brutal. We were there both days, and it was phenomenal. But later on, you and Carrie had parted ways. I know on Facebook there was some speculation. Is there any way that you can clear that up? Say what happened?
Well, yeah, without going into too much detail, I've put 7 years into Motorgrader, and I did everything in my power to make an album come out, I felt. And I worked very hard for it. And I have a love for Motorgrader that a lot of people won't understand. It's not like, just a band to me. I was a fan first and foremost and always will be. So I want the best for that band, and I want the best for my friends that are still in it and for the friends that aren't in it anymore, But I felt after the momentum of Motorgrader playing Knotfest that the thing that we should have done is canceled any flights of anybody leaving the state and went straight into the studio, recorded at least one single, and done a music video for it, and then release everybody to their home life. And that's not what happened. What happened is we played Knotfest and everybody scattered. After Knotfest was over, Carrie and I actually got, I don't want to say stranded, but we got stranded in the middle of Knotfest. But we didn't care. We just played Knotfest. We were there, and we were on this high. Everybody else went to their homes. People flew back to Kansas City, and this in no way is talking shit. It's facts of what happened and a mistake I think was made. And so we went 2 months without anything, nothing. Like there was talks of stuff, but I'm sick of talk. I'm over talk. And so I brought up recording multiple times. Other people agreed, but it's never happened. And so I finally, in December, what triggered it is a fan came up, knew that I was in Motorgrader, came up and asked a friend of mine, how do I buy Motorgrader merch? And at that time, there was no Motorgrader store. You had to message one of the members, and they would take your PayPal information, and hopefully you would get your merch, and in a fashionable time. And I didn't like that. I wanted structure. I like structure. I like things being, you go to this page, you put in your card info, and you trust this company to give your info to us to make sure that you get your merch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
I like that because there's paper trail there. There's proof and everything, and then there's something that's alerting you, hey, you have a new order. Don't forget about this new order. Get this new order out. And I like that. And we didn't have that. So that kind of set me off that night, and I went to the group chat where everybody was sitting, and I said, hey, all due respect, I love you all, but I think I have to bow out. I was like, with all the momentum from Knotfest and to not record an album, the guys are, and to not have an actual plan to record, and I feel like the talking right now is kind of negative, and it's not, because I've since talked to the guys. They have a new singer coming in. I'm very happy for them. They're going to have a great tour regardless if I'm in it or not. Some of the members that I know that are going into it are killer musicians, so I really have a lot of faith in what they're about to do. But proof is in the pudding, so it's all up to them, Yeah. And am I a little sore that I'm not going to be the one on the album? Yeah, because I put 7 years into it. Am I sore to the fact that I'm not going to support the new guy and the new album? No, because like I said prior, I'm a fan first and foremost.
Yeah. And
Carrie followed suit. Carrie really didn't have a reason to leave other than he's been my best friend for 12 years, and he's got my back and always has and always will. We went through some shit that would tear families apart, let alone friends. And we're still standing here holding hands, no homo. But you know, being in a band together and just wrecking shit.
Well, let's get back to Alpha Complex. You guys have
Cool.
an album out right now, Generate.
Generate, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard a few songs. We're actually gonna play one right now. It's called Till the End. Can you go into that? Maybe a meaning or how it came about or anything like that?
Till the End came about, like I said, with Steven, and it was just a riff that I had in my head, and he built on it. And I'm not a guitar player, so I have this thing that I call mouth tarring. And I just basically, I go, and you either figure it out or I help you figure it out. Most people figure it out.
Okay.
And so we wrote the song together, and I started writing the lyrics, and they just kind of poured out of me. And I feel like the lyrics were and are kind of about proving something, you know, like you can't, you know, it's just, you want a piece of me, I'll give you everything. Once I kill on the stage tonight is what I mean. Like, a lot of people want to take it however they do, and I hope they do. I hope it motivates them, like in the pit or something.
Yeah.
Wreck shit. But to me, it just meant, you know, like, you want a piece of me, I'll give you everything, because once I kill tonight, I'll never be the same. And it's just like, that's the premise of it. It's proud, you know, strong, strength, determination, perseverance.
All right, man. Well, here is Till the End. So we just heard Till the End, and it's off of the album Generate. You guys released that CD at a show with Powerman 5000. Can you guys go into that and talk about that and how the reception has been since?
Yeah. Well, we knew we were going to be releasing the CD, and I had some pressing issues that were closing in on us, and our show with Powerman was coming up, and I was like, it was just an absolutely perfect time to release the album. So we used that to our advantage with pre-selling tickets, something that every band has to do. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you start over, you start over. Yeah. Unless you're David Draymond,
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, and so basically we were doing the CD release there with Powerman. That was a great opportunity for us. Kind of last minute, they asked us if we want to do it. We were like, absolutely. We had 2 weeks. We sold 60 tickets in 2 weeks, and they were just like, the venue was tripping. Everybody was really happy on us, especially since we were a pretty new band. We've only played 2 shows prior to that, and they weren't in Sacramento. That was our first Sacramento show. So,
nice.
Our first home-based show was an amazing national, and people got the first taste of us, and the reception of the CD has been well. I mean, that's me being modest. If I'm going to be truthful, my true feelings on how the CD has been received, I've never seen anything like it. The way that people react to the music and the band, I call it an 8 out of 10 band, where 8 out of 10 people you show the band, they like it, if not absolutely love it.
Nice.
A lot of people tell me right away it becomes their first or their favorite. We can become their favorite band, one of their favorite bands, top 10 favorite bands easily right away. And the album doesn't leave their CD player for 2 weeks. So whenever I hear this, it just further solidifies my thought on it. And further than the fans, I'm overwhelmingly happy with the outcome of the album. I feel it captures a part of my life that I really needed to put out there. There's songs on there that are pretty vulnerable, and there's songs that are talking about other people's, my perception of what they're seeing. Like Cut the Strings, man. That song's about me going away on tour, but it's all said from the point of view of what I think she was seeing.
Oh, okay.
And so it's deep, man. There's a lot of, even though I've never been one of those lyricists like Corey Taylor, and I probably never will be. I'm not going to talk about the epidemic of the mannequins contaminating everything. What the fuck does that mean? You are a poet, Mr. Taylor, but I am confused. Okay? I love you, but I'm confused. He's the man. But I'm the guy that will sit there and write it out how it's supposed to be taken. And sometimes I use metaphors, but like pretty much what you see is what you get. And I put it out there. My open heart. It's not. I'm not hiding anything. So I think the fans are really relating to that. It's very universal. I mean, the song "Good Night" is about my son being afraid of the dark at night, and Carrie came up with the melody to that, and it just out of nowhere sprung the lyrics. And we were in a 2-story house at the time, and I ran downstairs and upstairs like 3 times when we wrote that. Like I was running around the house like a fucking kid that just found out he was going to Disneyland.
Oh, that's great, man. That's awesome.
I mean, that's how excited I am about this band, and that's how excited I am about music in general. And I speak for all 5 of my guys, or 5 of us, that we all feel the same. We know that this project is going to be something, and is being something to a lot of people. There's a dude in Pennsylvania that blasted his whole forearm with the Alpha Complex.
Oh wow, nice, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, what can you say?
Yeah, you can't really put into words how humbling that is.
Yeah. And when you hear that certain songs are saving people's lives, you're just like, you know, wow.
Is
You know,
there?
that's,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just talking now.
Oh, is there actually a song that like a general consensus of a song that's actually more popular than the singles you guys have put out?
uh, yeah, I mean, Cold is grabbing people big time. It's a song that Carrie wrote, and uh, it's the one that the radio station here picked up. It's on local licks, and uh, a lot of people tend to like it and gravitate towards it. And what's funny is it's the song with the least amount of studio magic as far as like layering harmonies and stuff like that.
Okay.
Vocally, it's pretty stripped down and raw, and it seems to be the song that everybody gravitates towards. A lot of the women like Goodnight because it's a parental kind of song point of view. A lot of people like Waves because it's about, you know, saying goodbye to a friend, you know, burying a loved one, you know, and how to deal with that and how it really feels, being honest. Like, I have a hard time, if I'm going to be absolutely honest, I have a hard time mourning and crying.
Yeah.
And inside, I'm like dying, and I can't let it out. And it probably has stuff to do with the issues from my past when I was a kid. But the fact is that somebody in my family could pass, and other people are just torn up about it. And right when I'm at the brink about to just break, I just like inhale and go, so what are we doing today? You want to go bowling? Like, and it's an issue, but like, that's what Waves is about for me. You know, it's about that impossibility of being able to cope correctly, and so my therapy is the music, you know.
All right, can you do me a personal favor right now?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you tell me exactly what Goodbye is about? I saw the video of you guys performing that as a practice as a three-piece, and since then that's been my favorite song off the album. So can you tell me like what it's about?
Are you talking about Goodnight?
No, Goodbye? Wait.
Oh, wait. No, when he's talking about where in the lyrics he's like, goodbye. I think, cut the strings then? Is that the one you came out?
Just a second, I'm double checking my information here, cause yeah, it's the one that you guys have. You guys are practicing as a three-piece. One of the lines is every time you speak my name.
Oh yeah, Special. Okay.
Special. I'm so sorry, Special.
It's okay. We've had working titles of them too, so I didn't know if I accidentally put something out that wasn't the finishing title.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have double checked that one. But yeah, can you tell me what Special's about?
I love this. That song is for me is basically about somebody who I love very deeply, and it just didn't work out, and it was a toxic relationship, and so it kind of is basically a pretty way of saying fuck you. Like, you didn't believe in me, you didn't want to stick out with me. Well, when I get out there and everybody's saying the Alpha Complex and everybody's saying Michael or Angel or whatever you want to call me, there's a part of me that wants that person to hear that, and I just want it to hurt because I hurt, and that's how I deal with shit. And then when they see me, I hope it just, instead of hurting, I hope it's just like this overcoming feeling of just, God, I miss them because I went through that and you didn't have to.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things. It's kind of like, you know, it tells a story of a relationship, you know, and I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, I heard it, man, and at the time, I'm gonna be completely honest, I was having issues with my my father.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the lyrics were speaking exactly what I wanted to tell him, and it was just like it was a release, you know. I have the same emotional problem, I guess you would say, that you have, not showing the emotion.
Yeah.
And basically my music or music in general speaks for me. It talks through me or to me. And yeah, that song just came about at a time where I actually needed it, and I was blown away, man.
Thank you. That's the point, you know. It's like it's my therapy, and I think any artist, whether it's through guitar or whatever, because you can feel emotion in guitar. It's not just words and lyrics. You can feel the pain in a blues guitarist riff, you know, and it translates.
Yeah.
And
it does.
I think all of our goal is to just, in the end, be not alone. Know that we're not the only one that feels that way, and feel like somebody else is going through the same stuff and can relate.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
that's
I
music.
appreciate that.
Well, you're very welcome. It's music actually doing what it's fashioned for. I really think it's to make it you connect with somebody else. I mean, like you said, you have the pain inside, and like I gravitated towards that song because of a completely different relationship,
Exactly.
and scenario and everything like that. But you know, it spoke to me, and that is one of my favorite things about music, and that's one of the favorite things about talking to other musicians is I get to hear their side.
Awesome. And what's funny is that's the song that I was trying to push to the radio a little bit harder
really?
than Cold. Yeah, they said it was between Special and Cold, and they picked Cold, but that's good because that means Special will be next.
Oh, really? Because of me? Please tell me it's because of me.
I'll tell you, it's because of you.
Oh, great. I feel so special now. Get it?
No pun intended. Now, you're not the only one, though. There's a lot of people that are like, man, that song, and every time I hear that, it's like hearing it the first time, and that means that just like you relate it to something else and I wrote it about, somebody else is relating it to something else, but at all the same points of relation, we all have a common bond right there because of it.
Yeah.
It brings us all closer, you know?
And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have happen, and, you know, it's great to hear that you guys are doing that.
So we are going to be now going on the road.
Oh.
So we will be traveling. Marty got here. We're going to band practice.
All right.
And so to continue this interview, there's no rush. We're just going to continue.
Okay, well, on that point then, how about you tell me about Bridges, and we'll start that.
All right, well, As Bridges Burns is kind of a cast before Motivator and the guys from Riven made up. It's kind of basically about that. You come and go. It's also, I mean, all these songs have mixed emotions in them, but they all come down to the same thing. It's really about having a relationship of some sort and feeling misused or abandoned in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So As Bridges Burns is basically about saying, I'm sick of forgiving you for you just to do the same fucking shit.
All right.
It's over and over. You just, you know, you come and go like I'm a fucking revolving door, you know?
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, here it is, As Bridges Burn.
Are you satisfied with everything? what you deserve. The bridge is burned.
I'm listening to As the Bridges Burn. Next, I want to talk to you guys about your second album. It's not unknown that you guys are working on it, so I'd really like to know the inner workings, how you guys write the songs. Carrie, how you come up with the riffs, what you do. Is there any special formula you do to get the riffs that you do?
Well, we basically work at it as a collaboratory method. I'll come up with like a little riff and I'll send it to Austin. He'll build on that riff and send it back to me, or we'll work in the jam space together as a whole, just kind of jamming something out. It's really just whatever pops into our heads at the time. That's what helps us be able to spread across genres and go whatever we're feeling, we play it.
Do you tab everything out, or do you show them like the positions on your fingerboard? How do you guys get to know each other's parts and build off of that?
We've taken video as well as little scratch track recordings on like programs such as Audacity and things like that, and just sitting down together and hashing out everything and then working it back and forth.
All right. What tunings do you guys use? Do you guys vary it up, or do you guys are you consistent throughout the albums?
We basically have two different tunings that we're working with right now. We have our 6-string guitars; those are based to like a drop B, and then we switch over to our 7 strings for some of our other songs like Cold and Leech and Cut the String, stuff like that. Those are done in our 7-string tuning, which is drop C with a low G. So it's C, G, C, G, A, D. And then basically we just stick between those two different tuning types through the 6-string and the 7-string.
And that's through the first album, or is that through the newer stuff too?
Through all of it. We go back and forth between the 6 and the 7-string, but we keep those same tunings pretty prominent.
All right, so
I heard something about A. I think I heard someone say that they wanted to start writing some stuff in A, possibly.
Oh, A,
yeah.
so low.
Yeah.
So
A's always fun to play with or play in. I mean, you got stuff like Slipknot and Coal Chamber and
all the motivator
stuff wasn't done in A.
Machine Head.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's so many different tunings out there. Each one can get you inspired to write something different.
Yeah, completely right. So is there one of the songs that you're working on right now that is just terrible, just so difficult for you to work on, or just technicality, or just anything like that?
Not really that I'm struggling right now. Well, there's this one timing part in the curse that where we got this weird odd time signatures, and either I'm on or I'm off. It happens when it happens.
Oh man, that's happened to me. I would come in on the wrong beat, and it took us, for one of the songs, it took us 2 days to get that right, and that was my part, nobody else's. It was terrible.
Absolutely.
Happens to the best of us.
I hope so, man. I really hope I'm not the only one.
Absolutely. It takes work. You just got to keep practicing and, get it down to muscle memory, and then it's all good from there.
Yeah. It's all about how much you put into it, man. You get that much back out.
Absolutely.
So earlier Michael mentioned about the his life events closing in before the Power Man show.
Oh yeah.
I know for a fact that you were house arrest. And I watched all of your videos, or most of them, and they kept me company while I was bored. But how'd that work out for you? I know it was kind of like experimental and everything. Did you get a good reaction with those videos?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was half to keep fans engaged while I was away for 3 months, so that we wouldn't ruin any momentum. And it was half to keep me somewhat sane, but as you can see in video 18, I started to lose my fucking mind. I think I was Batman at one point.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
And, I mean, you just when you're stuck in the house all day for 90 days straight, you really you run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
So I was doing videos every day for a period, and then all of a sudden I'd miss a day and have to cover 2 days, and then I'd miss like a week and have to cover all those. And I was also doing some vocal covers in the garage to kind of keep myself busy, and I don't know, it was just whatever I could do to keep from going outside and making a stupid mistake or something, because
Yeah.
it was all cause for a very stupid misunderstanding anyway. So,
Well, I know you've stated on Facebook that you're on probation. Is that true right now? You're currently on probation?
But what's really cool about it is everybody knows my past that I'm dealing with right now, and the fact is, I'm not Lindsay Lohan, so I can't just kind of do something and, bat my pretty little eyes and get off of it in 2 weeks after I'm sentenced to 3 years to anything. So, we all got to pay to play, and, you make a decision, you got to deal with the consequence, and I'm an example of that, and I have no problem, manning up and doing it. So, but the cool thing is they're like, you pay the money to the fine, and you kept your nose clean. Probably a bad reference. It had nothing to do with drugs. But they're looking at my career as well, because they take what I've done in the past and what I'm about to do and what we are about to do as a band very seriously, and I've not kept that from them. So they know exactly my plans. They know what's up, and I've followed their rules to a T with all their wishes. So it looks like I'll be off sooner than later, and then we will be planning tours to all over California and beyond.
Is that the probation actually hindering you from going anywhere?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I have to get permission to leave the state pretty much. I can go anywhere in the state, but we do have a couple guys that work too, so we have to confine that to weekend gigs. And at the moment, I've got to pay. I host karaoke whenever I'm not touring.
Okay.
So that's how I'm paying these fines off right now. And so unfortunately my weekends are pretty tapped out as well. So we come out once a month, do a show, and then go back to working, and the fine's almost paid off. As soon as it will be, you'll see a lot more California shows, and as soon as they allow me to be out of the state, you will see a full West Coast tour planned, and then we'll go from there. We're trying to take baby steps, which is a really hard thing for me, because I'm highly driven. Anybody who knows me knows that, and I'm dealing with a new group of guys here, which are all equally as talented, equally as driven, but maybe don't have the exact fortunate circumstances that I do. So we got to all make sacrifices for each other if we want to do this for each other. And if we're not doing it for each other and being a band of brothers, then what are we doing? Why don't I just go hire some nobodies that want money for it? I want this group of guys. We all want to stay the way we are right now. We're all very happy. And so we just, got to play it by ear.
Speaking of that, I actually read today that you guys are looking for West Coast tour spots. Is that true, or did I read wrong?
Well, what I'm looking for is, I posted a little bit back that we're looking for some crew members to join the team, as far as sound light guy and some stage hands, just to help, make things, step it up a little bit. And we are also looking to book West Coast things as soon as the time is actually a little bit more available.
Okay. All right, I got you. I thought you guys were actually planning a small like California tour. So I was wondering about that. It sounded really awesome.
Well, as soon as possible, yeah. And I know that the connections are there to do so, and I know the following is there to do so. So as soon as it's available for all the members without getting anybody a little stressed out financially or anything, then we'll take advantage of that.
All right. So do you guys have any shows coming up in your area?
Yeah, we have a free show at SRS, which is where a lot of the bands here in Sacramento rehearse and practice and record. But that's on March 21st. It's free, and they're going to have like a jump house for kids and stuff like that. And It's just a very family-oriented event, and welcoming in the springtime with the bands that play there at the studio. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. And then we have April 25th, which is also another free show with some of our friends in Fall Rise, which is a band here in Sacramento.
Okay.
That's just taking names, man. They're kicking ass. And another band, which is down in the Ripon, Manteca, Modesto area, called Hit and Run. And they're really, really good musicians and friends of ours now. And so we get to play a free show in their hometown with another great band that's a friend's band from here. So, I mean, that's just going to be a great time. Small, intimate venue, limited seating. So, I mean, if somebody wants to come out and see us there for free, I say do it. And then after that, we have a big show May 16th at Ace of Spades here in Sacramento with Fall Rise. And we're direct support to them. So we're fourth in the lineup of 5, and that show's guaranteed to sell out. I think it's going to be a huge show.
Nice.
And one that they talk about for a long time.
So, I'm actually from the California Central Valley. I'm from a little town called Tulare. It's in between Bakersfield and Fresno.
Familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was wondering, how is the scene in Sacramento? Most people here claim that it's dead and it's boring and nobody plays. But Sacramento being a bigger city, bigger area, is it different? Is it thriving?
So are you saying that the scene in your area, people say it's dead and boring, or
Yeah.
Your area, Sacramento scene is dead and boring?
Sorry. People say that the Visalia, Tulare, this smaller town scene is dead. There's no venues really. The city, if you want to play in a park, they charge you like $2 million to do that. Yeah, it's pretty hard to be a band here in this area.
Right.
So the scene is pretty messed up. How is it in Sacramento?
Now, see, when I was on the touring circuit, I used to think that Sacramento didn't really have a lot to offer. Being in Sacramento and walking, around with flyers and trying to promote your own band, you get to meet a lot of other bands at their shows, and you just get to see Sacramento is a scene not like any I've ever seen. It's the camaraderie here, the brotherhood, the people are in it for the right reasons. They're in it together. People are definitely supportive here. It's not a competition. It's not a, it's not as cutthroat as some scenes can be. Yeah. And it was refreshing to see that. And I'm very proud to be of the scene here. And the thing here is the scene here is only as good as you make it. And everybody here works as hard as they can to make it the best thing. So my suggestion is to do your best to motivate people in your scene to do the same. Your scene is only as good as you make it. And if there's not a venue, make one. Figure out renting a warehouse or something. Like, I don't know. I don't have all the answers because I'm not there.
Yeah.
And even if I was, I don't have all the answers. But that's my suggestion: is get involved, change your scene, make your scene, and that's Sacramento's great.
All right. Well, that's really good to hear. Actually, before we get too much farther into this, I want to play your last song, "Never Again." Can
Okay.
you tell me about that song and how it was? Possibly, how was it filming it in a live setting? Did you have to play it more than once or anything like that?
No, the whole video is from one song that's literally played live. It's not a video shoot where people come out and we're like, cool, that's a take. Now we're going to move over here, because what we did is we rented 20 GoPros from a company from New Jersey called Outdoor Equipment Rental.
Okay.
And they were very good to us. It was affordable. It was 20 GoPros for, I forget the amount, but it was very affordable. It was doable for everything that we were getting. They were accommodating. You know, they gave us all these harnesses that we needed to do stuff. I made a 5-point tripod bar out of PVC to where I could have 5 cameras all the way across the front of the stage, and all we had to do was move this big tripod bar on stage when it was time to play. So we literally set all these up, and we just rolled it, and that is literally from one song, just playing it once. We didn't play it over, and then I went home and did the tedious task of editing it, and so yeah, that was our first go at a live 20 camera shot.
Nice. All right, well, here is "Never Again."
Spreading all your goddamn lies. But you
That was Never Again. And we're going to be wrapping up here in a second. But is there anything you guys want to talk about? Any websites or plugs or your store that you want to talk about real fast?
Yeah. Well, you can. We're on almost every social media networking site there is. Probably some that are not even hitting anything or have died. But like we're on MySpace.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
But no, we're facebook.com/The Alpha Complex. Instagram @The Alpha Complex. Instagram's doing really well for us right now. Twitter is Alpha Complex 1 because we had a squatter on the Alpha Complex.
Oh.
And same thing with YouTube, but it's the Alpha Complex 1.
Okay.
And our website's thelocalmusicrevolution.com, and our store is on there. You can find a lot of our social networks linked onto there, like our SoundCloud plays on there. You can sign up for our email list right there on the front page and receive 3 free songs via Dropbox.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I mean, we do a lot for our fans and everything too. So it's not like we're just expecting everybody to sit here and, you know, and just shell out money. You know, we're recruiting. We're in recruiting mode. recruitionary. I want to make up words.
Hey, go for it, man.
But no, you know, so those are the websites, and we just want to thank everybody who's already into the Alpha Complex and spreading the good word. And if you're not, get into us, help us out, get involved, join the militia.
So, yeah, that about does it. That is the Alpha Complex. You heard Carrie and you heard Mike. Do people
and
still
Marty's
call you...
right here. Say hi, Marty.
Hi, Marty. Mike, do they actually still call you Angel?
Here and there.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, I go by both.
Okay, awesome. Well, that was the Alpha Complex, and thank you guys very much for your time and your effort and dealing with my crazy schedule. You guys are awesome, and it's been a blast talking to you. Thank you.
No, thank you, because you're helping us get more exposed to the people that we need to be exposed to, so thank you.
Well, let's hope that this is mutually beneficial for everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah, for the locals. All right, man, thank you. So that was the Alpha Complex. What'd you guys think? Pretty intense. I really liked it. It was a really good talk. Pretty good guys. I really enjoyed talking to them. Found out a lot of stuff about the band I didn't know, which is always a good thing. I'm a nerd when it comes to that. I love the inner workings of bands and all of that craziness that goes into this behind the scenes to make a band awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys produce their second CD. The first one was amazing, front to back, start to finish, however you want to slice it. It was amazing. I've heard the demo that they put on SoundCloud called The Cursed. I am super into that song. I lost my brains when I heard that song. It was so good. I'm really excited. If the rest of the songs sound as good as that, at least as good as that, it's going to be an amazing album, and I'm really, really looking forward to hearing it. You did hear Carrie mention The Cursed while he was talking about songs that gave him trouble. If you want to check it out, it's on SoundCloud, The Alpha Complex. Check it out. Tell them I sent you, and yeah, make sure they know that you heard their interview here at the Local Music Revolution. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and add the Local Music Revolution at thelocalmusicrevolution.bandcamp.com and at facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution. If you are a band, an actor, an artist, a director, or somebody very interesting, has to be very interesting though, contact me at thelocalmusicrevolution@gmail.com. I'll see what I can do about getting you on the show, schedule something. We can talk a little bit, see how that works out. I thank you so much for your support. Please remember I do answer all your comments, emails, and messages. Love to hear what you guys think. Until next time, I am Ogre. This has been the Local Music Revolution. Be good, everyone.